So this is where I am over here. That first cart filled up to the top, took care of all of this, so about like that. So it's not going to take long at all to at least get this tier in. I'm not sure if it'll be finished today. I got other things I need to do, but I'm going to get as much as I can in from this tier here. So we plug on, right? I should shovel that snow out, but I'm not gonna. And it has started sleeting. So, it's all right. It's nice working weather. So that's about what it looks like per trip. I've got the four-wheeler and four-wheel drive. So it really does add up quick, but it is sleeting. It's supposed to warm up, so this will turn to rain. I'm hoping I can get one more cart before I have to stop. We'll see. Okay, this here is load 4. I've got this much left to do. That's what I've got done so far. See where the wood was piled. Not bad. Well, that's all I've got left of this tier. Once I get this in, once I get that little bit right there and this, that'll be 1.25 cords. Now that next tier is also 1.25 cords, and that's good hardwood. And behind that is the lesser burning wood. It's like the birch, cherry, hemlock, juniper, smaller crookwood. Another wagon full. I started another tier. I needed something to set the wood on, so I'm taking the 2x2s that I had there, and I'm bringing them in for the next tier in the woodshed. That's all I got left of this tier. I am starting to top off my woodsheds. Now, right there is all last year's wood. I only burned maybe 2.5 tier out of this woodshed. And I am using this wagon here to haul the wood over. And that's how much a cart will hold. I cleaned out this woodshed pretty much. I've got the freezer that I keep grain in, and I gotta put that fertilizer up and square off that freezer. I'm gonna bring in one more load, throw it in here, and this right here will pretty much fill up that tier. So I'm definitely gonna have some wood piled out across the road in numerous places throughout the winter. It's all right. It's all right. I'd rather have too much than not enough, right? Well, this is the second cart that was emptied, and I thought it would fill that whole tier, but I have been stuffing them up as high as I can. I'm on my tippy toes, and so I probably would have if I had left it level, but I want as much in the woodshed as I possibly can. I do not like to have it way up over my head that high, but I always end up doing it every year. But every year I try to reach a stick up there, and sometimes you can only get your your fingertips on it and you try to slide it out while you're jumping up a little bit and pulling it out. And what happens is you've got the very tip of it, and once it clears the back of the stick that you're pulling, clears that tier, it either drops down like this and turns and gets you in the shins, or it flips up and it comes and tries to hit you in the face. That's why a lot of people that pile wood up over their head end up with broken noses, split lips, split eyebrows. So, but I'll just have to be mindful. And so that right there is what I'm doing. I'm not gonna complain that I didn't fill the top of that tier, because it's only maybe 3 armloads will top that off. And then I'll have that whole tier good. And then I could start on another tier. I'll put those, straighten that board out and pile it on the board. It really doesn't get wet in here, but I still like to have my wood up off the ground, even if it's a 2x4 or a 1-inch board or something. Here's the next wagon. I've got, I don't know, it's up to my hips or up to my armpits, depends on where you go in the pile. This tier has been topped off. Just like last year, I got to keep my grain bin here, which is just an old freezer. This year I paid attention to keep it away from the outside wall and away from the back. So when I do open this lid, it can stand right up straight. So what I did was took a slab and did the cross piecing down here to straighten up the wood pile to make the wood tier, to make it go right straight up. And I put a piece of, I call it kindling, up there, and then a board, the slab. Now this kindling prevents this slab from, and the wood pile from going, so I can't open the freezer. Remember, I had that problem last year because the wood pile, as I was piling it, it looked straight, but then it pushed the freezer over, so I couldn't open it until I burned that wood, right? So I'm hoping I can get away from that this year, and that will work. It should work. It should. We'll see. But moving along, doing good. Going fast. One more load of the day. We'll finish that tier out there. And it looks like it might rain. You can feel moisture in the air. It's getting a little cooler. So one more load and I'm calling it quits for today. Good job done. So here I am the next morning. And as you can see, the 1.5 tier has been taken in. It was taken in, the rest of it was taken in just about dark last night. And I've got to do something with that next tier. I don't believe it's going in today, but I think I might take the tarp that I took off the tier that I brought in, that one and that one, and it looks like I've got some holes in that tarp right there. So I'll be doing something with that today. So I feel pretty good about getting at least this one tier in yesterday. I'll show you what the woodshed looks like. So I got quite a bit in here, and everything has been put back in the woodshed. I've got to take care of it. But this small stuff, this fine stuff, of course it was on the ground inside the woodshed, and the duck this summer, she decided to hatch out some babies right there in the middle of them. So those are just piled there temporarily. But this is where I'm at. Not bad, not bad. I still got to take care of this stuff. This is a grain bag of pine cones for fire starting. And that's a bag of, right there, that's a bag of bags. These here on top of the grain bin here, the freezer, those are long pieces that I'll have to either buzz off with the chainsaw, or put them in crossways the stove, because some of them are close to 20 inches. So they won't go in straight in, so they'll have to be kitty-cornered or cut off, like I said. But I got to take care of the fertilizer. That fertilizer bag, I opened it, I don't know, good Lord, quite a few years ago. It's 13. And I only use that on very select few plants that I grow in the summer. So that bag will easily last me another 5 years or better. But this is where I am. That's working pretty good. It did last year as well. I got to do the same thing to this one. And I can't back up, folks, because I do have the, well, maybe I can a little bit. Because I'm pushing the tarp out. Now, this tarp here, I'll show you. This tarp here is going to be replaced. I've got I think it's a 12 mil tarp that I've got to put up on there. And I bought a handful of them the other day. So, as you can see, if anything at all is sticking out, when the wind blows, it'll put holes in the tarp. It'll just wear a hole. And over here, look at that, huh? So this has got to be replaced. So this is the back of the big woodshed. And in another video, I talked about this wood here and how my stepdad didn't want it. Well, he was here yesterday, and I brought him right over, and I said, listen, you don't want this wood here. I said, I've been burning it. It burns quite nicely. And once he put his eyes on it, he changed his mind about taking it. It'll help top off his woodshed. And he's decided that, yeah, maybe he will take this wood here.